If you're looking for a step-by-step guide to find the motivation to build your most productive, creative, and artistic morning routine, this is the wrong video. Hi, my name is Veronica, aka Vespertilio. I am an Italian comic book author, tarot and oracle deck creator, and your spooky art teacher.
It's me again, yours truly.
Yesterday, I received this comment under one of my videos. You always seem so cheerful and happy, which is incredibly uplifting and one of the reasons I keep coming back to your channel. Thank you. Could you share how you maintain such a positive vibe? Are there specific beliefs or practices that keep you going? If you're looking for authenticity, social media is the wrong place. As much as I try my best to always be genuine with you, it is a fact that whenever I have to film a video, I try to get in the mood for it. If I'm having a bad day, I try to calm down before filming, and sometimes filming actually helps me calm down. I do this because I think that having a positive attitude in my videos, even in the ones where I share my struggles, like the how to deal with failure one, is just more welcoming and gives us all a better experience, both for me as a creator and for you as a viewer. But with that said, no, I'm not always positive and cheerful, not at all. In fact, as much as it is true that in the past months I've been able to be incredibly consistent with my morning routine and incredibly consistent at being productive in general, lately I'm struggling for different reasons. To have a morning routine the artist's way, we have to understand that we might have some needs that need to be met, no matter if that means we are not going to be able to express our creativity fully on certain days. I wish for you to feel seen and understood, and I want you to see and understand that the search for perfection is useless in life as it is in art. With that said, let's get to this morning routine. The first thing I'm going to do is open my laptop and go on Skillshare, which is also a sponsor of today's video. I had to stop seeing my personal trainer because I was really busy finishing the Illustrator book. I noticed I started feeling less active and energized, so I've started following Yoga for Beautiful Strength in body and mind on Skillshare. I admit I'm very rusty and need to take my time, which I find even harder in the morning. But what I like about this class is that while it is structured to be a complete yoga workout, each lesson breaks a part of the whole practice, and so you can focus on one aspect of the routine or skip another if needed. For instance, I would follow the whole class only once a week, but I try to do the gentle warm-up and core lesson every other day. We often think of creative learning as a series of notions and practices to strengthen our productivity rather than creativity itself. We keep forgetting that one of the most productive things a creative can do is rest, recharge, and take care of our most important creative tools, mind and body. Thankfully, Skillshare is the largest online learning community for creatives of all capacities, with thousands of classes led by industry experts across film, illustration, design, productivity, drawing, and much more. Whether you want to find a hobby, nurture a passion of yours, turn it into a career, or take care of your creative self, Skillshare can help you reach your goals. So, if you're ready to dive in your next project this summer, the first 500 people to use the link in my description will receive a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. Get started today! Thank you again, Skillshare, for partnering with me. The key to a successful morning routine the artist's way is actually find out what are the things that nurture your creativity. I'm struggling to get back on track on those things that I would do for the pleasure of doing them rather than do them because I have to do them. This is causing me to think of those things I want to do as things I have to do, which I think is the main reason why I'm struggling to get back at my morning routine. And it is not a case that this video is called a morning routine the artist's way, because I learned how to craft my morning routine thanks to The Artist's Way, which is this wonderful book by Julia Cameron. I've never talked about this book in my videos before, but I kind of gave hints about the fact that I read this book. Being very short, I highly suggest you go check this yourself. I would say this is a spiritual workbook for blocked artists of all kinds and all capacities. I say this is spiritual because it is, if I have to be honest, but it is really practical in the way that this book is meant to be read among 12 weeks. Each week has a topic, and each chapter for each topic has tasks and homework. Among all these tasks, the most important ones are the morning pages and the artist dates. I've been able to go through all 12 weeks and never skip my morning pages, which is something that I kept doing for a long time, and it's something that I still do today, but unfortunately less frequently. I really want to get back at it because it was a practice that really helped me a lot. Basically, what the morning pages are, you write 3 pages longhand of whatever crosses your mind every morning, first thing in the morning. Whenever I can and I feel like I can do my morning routine, it is something that I keep in my morning routine because it is something so healing, let's say. I think that is the right word. One of the main lessons that I've learned from this book is that you have to rediscover what you like and what nurtures you and what gives you energy and gives you also peace. What I could rediscover about myself is that I like to draw. I like to draw without thinking much of it, without stressing about it, without worrying about perfection. And that is something that I started doing as my own thing, but that I started, as you know, incorporating into my artistic expression and into my drawing practice. And that is something that I preach a lot, and it's something I had to rediscover about myself. One would take for granted, given the fact that I am an artist, but it is not, and I believe you all can see that in yourself. If you struggle with perfectionism, if you struggle in being consistent with your art, you'll notice you maybe have to rediscover how you would like to do art when you were little and how you like to do art without thinking much of it and just enjoying the process. So one thing I also try to incorporate in my morning routine after journaling is actually sketching in my sketchbook. Now, lately I've rediscovered also other things that I like to do, but I never was able to be consistent with it. I like to make scrapbooks. In the past year, I've really enjoyed scrapbooking with copies of my drawings. Those are 2 envelopes filled with copies of sketches and drawings from my sketchbooks. I cut those out and put them together and make pages in my scrapbook. It is the scientific method book that Jack Skellington has in The Nightmare Before Christmas. I had to glue those bat wings myself because this was damaged, and we found it at the old Disney store in Rome at an insane discount. This is all witchcraft themed. You could think of it as a grimoire. For instance, this is a copy of my walnut tree illustration, and I actually decided to use a marker to add this kind of gold undertone in the piece. This is another spread, this other spread about the zodiac signs. I also like to make this interactive. This is about the moon. I really like to do this kind of things. These are a couple of my mock-up copies of my oracle deck. So here we are, the new moon and the waxing crescent. Yeah, this is another thing I like to do, and sometimes I do this instead of sketching in my morning routine. Last but not least, one thing I'm trying my best to incorporate not only in my morning routine but in my routine in general is reading. I've only read 3 books this year, one being The Artist's Way, another one being The Surreal Life of Leonora Carrington, which I loved, and another one is Heal the Witch Wound, which is, in some parts, it is pretty similar to what I learned in The Artist's Way, but it is of course more spiritual. And now I'm reading this book and I've just started it. For now it looks incredible. I'm obsessed, and it is Women Who Run with Wolves, Myths and Stories of the Wild Woman Archetype by Clarissa Pinkola Estes. I mean, I just started it, okay? It's just few pages. But there was a part in particular where I was like, am I reading a gospel? Great, it is really, really, really good. I'm noticing this year I'm reading all books that make me think about my relationship with myself. Even the biography of Leonora Carrington, in many parts of the book, made me think about myself and my relationship with myself and my artistic expression. In a way, that was also a pretty spiritual book. Now, what have I been able to do this morning? Well, I haven't been able to do much, if I have to be honest, because it is so unbearably hot here. And we are on rent, and in my house there is no AC, and we are surviving with this. I am suffering from this heat a lot. I don't know if that is also the cause of this, but I am also struggling with physical pain lately. I don't know if you noticed, but in the vlog parts where I show you my morning and my routine, I have another top under this one, and I had to take it off because just wearing that, it wasn't even that tight, but it was causing me a lot of restriction. I want to say it was causing me a lot of pain in my stomach area, and it was actually making me nauseous. And thankfully, one thing that helped me with that pain was the yoga session I had this morning. It was very little because, as I say, the big one, the hour and a half yoga class, is something that I can manage to do just once a week because of the heat, if I have to be honest. But the 9-10 minutes I had this morning were enough to soothe my physical pain. So that is also something that is very important because, as I said at the beginning of this video, taking care of our creativity means taking care of our mind and body, because those are our creative artistic tools. I believe one of the reasons why I'm struggling so much being consistent with my creative expression, because I'm very creative, it's my creative expression, is putting it into practice that is making me struggle lately. I can't do it if I'm not well, both physically and mentally. Because mentally I can have a bunch of ideas, but then if my body is not feeling right, I can't perform basically. Especially if you're now somewhere in the world where it is incredibly hot, or if you're not physically well at the moment, my advice is please do not push yourself, because it is useless and you're actually going to hurt yourself more, in my opinion. As I said, doing that little yoga session this morning actually helped my body pain, my physical pain, but I encourage you to take your time and not push yourself just because you have to do something. Because, as I said, those things like reading this book I'm enjoying, laying out my bullet journal, or scrapbooking, or sketching on my sketchbook, or journaling, those are all things that I should want to do. I shouldn't think I have to do those things. The moment you start thinking you have to do those things is the moment you have to recenter yourself. It's the moment you have to ground yourself again. Because if what is meant to recharge you and nurture you starts being another thing you have to check out a to-do list, then you're not recharging ever. For instance, this morning, I did my yoga session, and I did some journaling, and I did a tiny sketch. And that's it. I'm not going to work on my scrapbook for now, and I'm probably going to read in the afternoon. Take your time. Only rule I gave myself, which is the one that I'm struggling with so much, I'm actually very bad at this, is put away your phone. Put away your phone. Whatever you decide to do, don't stay on your phone. Don't scroll on your phone, because that is the worst thing you can do. Please, please, please. Especially first thing in the morning. So you wake up, you turn off your alarm, put away your phone. And then if you want to do nothing, do nothing. Meditate. I heard Serge Tankian from System of a Down in a podcast by Rainn Wilson called Soul Boom. I highly recommend the podcast and that episode. He calls meditation the sacred silence, and that is true. So if you don't want to do nothing and just chill in the morning, do it, but don't be on your phone. Please don't be on your phone. And maybe not being on your phone, you go like, I actually want to read a couple of pages from that book. I actually want to start a sketch. I actually want to listen to the seagulls. So yeah, with that said, I think I talked enough. I really hope I was able to share with you a valuable lesson about this whole matter. My goal for this video initially was to show you how good I was at my morning routine, but my actual goal for this video, I believe, is showing you that the people you see on the internet have not everything figured out, are not always cheerful and happy, are not always energized, able to do their morning routine every single day. If you have to take something from this video, I think that is the most important thing. And then again, please, let's all commit to putting away our phones at least in the morning, because it is really the worst thing a creative can do. I'm not going to dive into the reasons, because there are reasons that are actually backed up by science and psychology on why that is the worst thing we can do. So please, let's all commit now to stay away from our phones, at least in the morning. With that said, thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope I was helpful to you somehow. Let me know in the comment section below if some of the things I do like to do when I can in my morning routine are the same you like to do, things you'd like to try in your morning routine. Also, let's be real. Just in the comment section of this video, let's all be real and authentic, and let's expose one thing we're struggling with this summer. Just go in the comment section and share one thing you're struggling with this summer. It's okay. It's okay. We got this, and we can be graceful and have grace on ourselves. I think that is what I want to share with you today. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you like spending this morning with me, please feel free to click the subscribe button and like in this video. If you wish to support my art, my very first tarot deck, Vespertaro, is now available for purchase, and you can get it at the link in the description. My newsletter is currently on a summer break due to some personal and technical issues. It is hopefully coming back very soon, so if you want to be updated on my next update on my digitalized sketchbook, you can join my newsletter at the link in my description. Don't forget to check the sponsor of today's video, Skillshare, and get your 1 month free trial by being one of the first 500 people to click the link in my description. If you stayed till this point, thank you very much. I will see you very soon with more art videos. In the meantime, let's make art. Bye.